Welcome to the Venus and Mars Show. I'm Peter, or Mars.
And I'm Anne, known as Venus.
Tonight we're going to talk about what's it like to be an older worker trying to either get work or to be in the workplace. Maybe some discriminations that you may face. And special guest?
Tonight we're going to have Ellie Escobar. She is so bubbly, so lively. She does these great videos on Facebook. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having that interview with her. And we finish up with a community acknowledgement, the Environmental Police Marine Unit. Okay, we're both in that arena.
Stop saying it, please.
I know. We're both in our 50s. How's that? Sorry,
Okay.
but we are. And we face, I would say, unique circumstances in the workplace.
Such as?
Well, I have been through what I'm going through now twice. Once in my late 40s, and now I'm back in it in my 50s. And what I mean by that is that I am not working at my regular IT career at this moment. I don't have a job. And what I noticed out there is that it seems like employers, for some reason, they think that because you're old or older, somehow it's not that you may not be reliable, or they don't think you're going to be there for the long run or long haul. What do you?
Well, I mean, I personally haven't been out there in the workforce in quite a while. I'm pretty, settled at my career, if you will, but I think it's probably all in how you sell yourself, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be positive, it could be negative.
When's the last time you actually were out there?
15 years
Okay.
ago.
Well, as I said, I was doing this in 2009, and here I am again in 2018 doing this. And what I've told people is that just be prepared that if you are looking for a job in your field, it's not guaranteed, but expect to take a pay cut. It's
Oh,
just,
absolutely.
it's a different playing field out there. But the other thing too is that when I used to send resumes out in the old days, I always got a response, either positive or negative. I send resumes out to IT. Now, I have 35 plus years in this field of IT. And I hear crickets. I rarely hear anything back. And yet, I line up very, very nicely with the qualifications. It's very strange. But now I'm going to try to sell myself.
Yeah.
As what I bring to the table.
Right.
As what not only you don't have to worry about me showing up for work. I will do whatever it takes to get the job done right the first time, okay? I bring manners, and we had this discussion on another show about manners.
Right.
I have etiquette that I bring. You can't really teach this anymore. For some reason, there is almost not a lack of respect for other people out there, but the way they interact with each other. Now, I had to go to a class which showed how the 4 generations have to communicate. Millennials, baby boomers, because it's all...
Snowflakes.
It's different.
Yes.
Snowflakes?
That's the newest ones, yeah.
You're kidding.
No.
Snowflakes? Who's that?
It's the latest generation in their 20s coming out of college.
You're not kidding me.
No, I'm not.
Wow, I'm just surprised I never heard snowflakes?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like to be called that.
Well, I'm sure they don't either.
Yeah, because the word flake.
Well, I don't think it has to do with that.
Well, anyway, I'm trying to rope this in, is what I'm trying to say, is that what you see is what you get. What I don't understand is they'll look at you and say, well, how much business, you don't work for 1 or 2 companies anymore. It's not going to happen. The kid coming out of college today is going to probably work for 15 to 20 companies.
They have a lot of stepping stones.
Right, 15 to 20. So in business, would you agree that 5 to 8 years is a long time? No, it's a long time.
I guess in today's
no, it is
world,
long.
yeah.
So why would they worry about if I'm going to be around in 5 years? I am going to be around in 5 years.
But you're assuming that that's where the company is and that's what they're thinking. You
Right.
really don't know because you're not getting a response back.
Right.
There's no communication coming back for you to be able to critique that off of.
Right.
It could be a number of different things, and one may be thinking that your seniority, you're going to want more pay because you have that kind of expertise. The newer generation coming out of college, they don't require that much money, honestly, and they
Really?
got huge loans.
Yeah, they have huge loans. They have cell phone bills that never existed when we got out of
But
college.
from what I understand, and is that this next generation will live at home because they're going to pay off their loans first, and everybody's kind of community living under one roof with the parents or the
Yeah.
grandparents, and everybody's just keeping it afloat.
Well, my new philosophy is going forward is that I am, you know, you would never put all your money in one stock. So I'm trying to develop several revenue streams. I'm not going to put all my effort into one company or one job. I'm going to try to do multiple things, mix it up, make it interesting, and see what happens.
It's not a bad way to look at
Well,
it.
I mean,
you got to put a
Well,
buffet
it's
out
better
there.
than hearing crickets.
Looking for a job is a full-time job.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. You should be sending out resumes every single day, multiple ones, and maybe that's just the way it is today. A lot of it is more electronic. It isn't going to come in a paper form, whatever.
Yeah.
Hard to tell what they're looking for.
Well, then there's always the other thing is true is that, you know, 38 years, one can get stale. It may be time to try something else anyway. Make it much more interesting, make it more exciting, make it more challenging in certain ways, and see what happens.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
It's the same way with acting.
Yeah, well, I don't expect any money from acting.
Well, you do that more of a hobby.
Right.
And it's because
yeah,
you have
right.
a want to do
Yeah,
it and a love for it.
Yeah, that's different. I mean, it would be nice to, if you ever hit one lucky thing, you know, it just propel right into, retirement. But, so anyway, that's what I'm going through, and I'm okay. You know, I kind of, I feel like I have a feeling I'll be working in a couple of months, but I'm taking my time, selecting what I want to do.
Well, that's good to be
Yeah.
able to be relaxed. A lot of people don't have that luxury.
Yeah. Well, one advantage of being in my age I am now is that all the stuff is behind me, though.
As far as stuff, what are you talking
Well, the
about?
kids are grown up, educated, out of the house. You know, I'm not spending money on stuff anymore, accumulating things. My priorities have changed and my focus, so,
Right,
you know,
right.
whatever.
Well, it kind of has to
Yeah.
when you're not working too,
Yeah.
so you minimize.
Well, so much for my,
Well, good luck with everything.
well, like I said, if you ever find yourself in that, just, you know, you already know you have to do it maybe every day. It's very, very different out there now, the way, you know.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Not sure I'd want to be out there today.
No, well, 5 to 8 years is a long way to still make it, so yeah. All right. All right, now our guest tonight will be Ellie Escobar.
Escobar.
Yes, an actress,
She is an actor.
actor.
She doesn't like to be referred to as an actress, doesn't like to be put in a
No,
box.
God forbid.
Very lively, bubbly, gonna be a great time.
All right, well, I look forward to meeting
Me
Ellie.
too.
All right.
And welcome back, and thank you for coming and joining us. Today we have Ellie Escobar joining us. Hello, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
Hi.
Welcome to our show.
Well, thank you for having me.
She is our invited guest today, who is an actor, not just an actress. And why do you like to have that name attached to you?
The actor?
Yeah.
Because if I'm an actor, I can play several roles. I could play a male, a monster, whereas if I'm an actress, I'm just going to be playing female roles.
I see. You don't want to be limited or boxed in, basically.
No, I think you have to be limitless when it comes to acting and be creative and just, just grab the opportunities and get out there.
I love the accent, Ellie. So where do you
Thank
come
you.
from?
I was born in El Salvador.
Wow.
Yes,
And
it's
what
a
age did you come
tiny
over
little
here?
country, sorry.
That's
Oh,
all
no.
right. That's all right. How old were you when you came here?
I just turned 14. So
When
now
you came
before
here?
the marriage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 years old. And I left because of the war and because girls my age were being raped by the army in my country. Raped, killed, buried somewhere, and their parents would never see them again.
This was by your own army, El Salvadorian army?
Yes, so we had sort of a dictatorship.
Yeah,
And,
I seem to recall.
yeah, and a lot of the young kids at that time sort of decided to join the guerrillas because the revolutionaries, because they were trying to make change for our country, you know. And who was the guerrilla? Basically, peasants, students, teachers, civilians who had enough of the dictatorship, you know, and they wanted to change. So my parents put me in a plane by myself.
Oh my Lord.
I was really scary because when you're 14 and you're in your own room and one day and the next day they say, we're going to send you to your uncle's house in Boston.
So you did come to relatives here.
Yeah, my uncle was living here in Boston already, so I was very lucky. That time, it was very hard to get out of the country unless you came illegal through the rivers, through Mexico. But I was able to get some illegal papers, and I got on a plane. They put me on a plane.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
I traveled by myself at 14 with a bunch of people that I didn't know. And I just remember seeing all my family. You know, I was in the plane looking out the window and they just waving goodbye. And my heart is breaking because I'm leaving these people.
Have you been back to San Salvador?
I have.
El Salvador or San Salvador?
El Salvador,
Did I say it
and
wrong?
San Salvador is the capital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I knew there was, okay.
and
My
I have
sorry.
been back there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's poor country. It went from this war to now having to deal with the MS-13 gang, which is a very, very dangerous.
Well, they're everywhere now. They're here in
They
the
are.
States
Yeah,
too.
they are everywhere.
Yeah, I know that we deal a lot with law enforcement, and
Yeah.
that continually comes up as a hot topic today, trying to fight that. But I do want to save some of that because I want to talk about your acting experiences, how you got into it, because I understand that you're going to be telling your story about your life sooner or later.
I am.
So we're going to save a lot of that.
Yes.
But I want to know, how did you get to this point? When did you start liking drama or acting or?
Well, God, I loved drama since probably I was 5 years old. And I did do dance and sing and some acting growing up. But once I got to this country, because I didn't speak English, I couldn't do it. And there were days where I would go to, after school, to the drama, to the auditorium in my high school and watch the American kids do their plays. And I would just dream of being on that stage, and I just wanted to be on that stage. But I went to a predominantly white high school, so there was a lot of racism going on. So my chances of being on that stage were zero.
Oh, I'm sorry about
and
that.
so yeah, so I kind of let it go, you know, and I decided to do other things. Went to school I went to school to be a doctor to UMass Amherst, got accepted in the pre-med program, and I decided that was not for me because I don't like touching people or I don't like blood.
Sounds like somebody I know.
And I couldn't even say.
You made a wise decision. If you don't like touching people, you're in the wrong.
Yeah. So no. So and I'm germophobic. So
Yeah.
yeah.
wow.
So I then decided that there was something else for me, and I did literature, Spanish literature with education, and I became a high school teacher instead.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, and so basically, my acting career started I dreamt of it, and I wanted to be an actor for years. And I did my share of acting prior to high school. Once in high school, it just kind of went out the door. And then I had a kid, and I thought he was going to be the actor, and got him into some training. And about 2 years ago, in 2016, we were living in LA, and I was in LA living over there for him. Can I tell you a really funny story?
Sure.
Certainly.
I went to the,
Please share.
so while I was living in LA and my kid was acting, right? I actually went to the Kodak Theater where the Oscars are given, and I went to see the American Idol finale. And for years, I dreamt in my head that I was going to get an Oscar, even when I was little. And I touched that theater, and I said, I will come back. And all these people behind me, they're looking at me, but I didn't care. And I touched the wall of the theater as I walked into the theater, and I said, I will come back 3 years to get my Oscar for Best Supporting Actress.
Ooh.
Because I'm humble that way.
Good to be humble.
And a dreamer.
And so my friend thought I was crazy. Now, mind you, that I didn't know I was going to get into acting yet. I had no idea. Come back to Massachusetts, and was going to go into my first day of work at Taft's Health Plan, a great pay job. Got into a car accident on my first day of work.
Oh.
First day.
Yes.
So you
Never
didn't
made
make it.
Never made it. Never made it. Didn't know I was in a car accident until paramedics was talking to me, and I'm like, whoa, was I in a car accident? He goes, yes. You're very lucky. So I ended up with a concussion. For 6 months, I was home, and, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So my kid, the one I thought was the actor, said to me, Mom, I'm not sure I want to be an actor. I think you need to be the actor. Didn't you want to do these? And I said, yeah. So why'd you stop? I said, life happens, He goes, well, go live your dream. It's time. And that's what I did.
So a car
I started.
accident, in effect, is what launched your career.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I would say, don't look at the bad things that happen in your life as a bad thing. Like I always say, it wasn't that the universe was working against me. It was working for me to get me to where I needed to go. That it was time for me to finally arrive at my destiny, which was acting. And I did that. I took a class with Boston Casting. At that time, Erica Derrickson was
love
teaching
her.
the class. And the class teaches you how to market yourself, how to become a successful actor in New England. And so I did that, exactly that. I took all the notes and I applied all the notes into my career. And within 4 months after that class, I was lead actor in one film for Harvard University and supporting actor
Excellent.
in Emerson College films.
Wow.
Wow.
And then some independent films. And I just recently finished a feature film, which is my best film to date, supporting actor in that film. It's called The Island Between Our Love, from directors Richard, oh my goodness, he's gonna kill me.
Sorry, Richard.
Richard. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyhow,
Yeah.
The Island Between Our Love is a story about. It's a beautiful story about Dominican Republic and Haiti and the struggles these two countries have had regarding racism. And it's a love story between a boy who is from Dominican Republic and a girl who's from Haiti, and how their parents don't want them together because they don't like Haitian. Dominicans don't like Haitians, and Haitians don't like Dominicans. So it's a really good story. There's a little bit of history, and there's the love story. And so now I have done about, 14 films in a few, 14 films.
Okay.
under
Wow.
my-
So other than films, what other things have you done? Have you been in plays? You've done coaching or gotten classes
Yes.
and been coached.
Yeah, my coaches for 2 years now. It's Steve Blackwood.
Love him.
Yeah, he's taught me so much.
As I'll be seeing him tomorrow.
Yes, there you go.
Steve, I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Steve, new student over here. I'm a devoted student of Steve Blackwood. He's an amazing, amazing coach. He's taught me so much, and I also study on a regular basis with Bill Statnitz's Hollywood is Casting, and he focuses more on call reads and how to be in front of the camera, and so I set myself goals. That's
Yeah.
what I do. I set myself goals, and one of my goals was to, by 2018, hopefully to get an agent, and in January I got myself an agent.
So that was his very first month.
Yeah.
Very first month of the year, and you
I
succeeded.
set myself goals, and I go on a mission to achieve those. And now I am also co-producing and co-directing a television series with a friend actor of mine called OK. And we just finished shooting the first episode of the...
That's great. So
Yeah.
that's something that the people at home can look forward to watching then.
Absolutely.
On a TV series?
We are going to put it out there in the universe, and hopefully eventually, our goal is to submit it to... We're going to submit it as a short film to festivals first.
Oh, sure, because
Yeah.
that's typically what is done
Exactly.
anyway.
And then hopefully going to
So
develop the series.
if the people at home wanted to follow you, what would be the best way to do that?
So to follow me, Facebook, I'm always on Facebook.
Under?
Ellie Escobar, and also Instagram. And I have a Twitter account, but I'm not a Twitter person.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
Complicated.
I know.
So basically, yeah, Facebook is probably the best way to reach out to me, which nowadays a lot of people reach out to me asking me questions about the industry. I didn't just become an actor. I put all of me into learning the techniques and being, not a good actor, but I want to be a great actor. So for that, you have to train. But I also started researching and understanding how the industry works and what it takes. And because of that, I actually also taught a small workshop to aspiring actors, and that's what I do. I sit one-on-one now with aspiring actors, and I teach them sort of the ropes on how to become successful actors here too, and what they need to do. Because I know when I first started, I was lost.
yeah.
I did not know, which way to go.
But you're not lost anymore.
No.
And now
Blazed
we
a trail.
hope that we can have you back after you get an Oscar, right, Peter?
Right. After your
I mean,
second
it's
one.
coming.
Will you promise that you will come
I
back after you
promise
get
I
that?
will be here, and I promise that I will do a shout out. I already have my speech written, by the
She
way.
does the greatest live video cams on Facebook, so you
you.
need to follow her. Thanks so much for joining
Thank you for
us.
having
Thank
me,
you,
guys.
Ellie.
I enjoy you both. You are amazing people.
No, we're more than welcome, and thank you for coming on.
Thank
the show.
Absolutely.
you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, she's really vivacious and bubbly, huh?
Do you think?
Wow, especially considering where she came from. I'm just saying that she came from a lot of, that's heavy stuff.
Look, I really admire that. Coming
Right.
here from another country, not speaking English, just going all the way and touching that statue and saying, I'm going to be here one day. I
Yeah,
bet
but
she will.
and smiling all the time. I mean,
The whole
really,
time.
she's got a really great disposition.
That's why I love her as a
Yeah,
guest.
I mean, it was infectious.
Yes.
I felt, it's like, I just felt happy around her. I mean, if you know what I mean, like sort
Yeah,
of.
she's hitting the ground running. I
yeah.
met her at the very beginning when she was doing her first movie. And she's got a lot of traction ever since. It's been a short time.
Yes. And now for our community acknowledgement. Ann?
Today, we're going to discuss and outline the environmental police. It's called the Coastal Marine Unit. They handle the waterways versus inland, but really they do both.
Well, this ought to be good.
It is. It is.
The Coastal Bureau officers patrol coastal waters, conducting investigations of illegal fishing practices, marine theft cases, and enforcement of boat registration and titling requirements. The coastal force mediates disputes between competing fishing interests such as draggers, gill netters, lobstermen, and recreational anglers. In addition, coastal officers closely monitor fish markets, processing facilities, shellfish digging, and off-highway vehicle use on beaches.
Enforcement responsibilities include, but are not limited to, Boating and Recreational Vehicle Safety Bureau, which has established a dramatic record in the field of boating safety education. Through their classroom efforts and strong officer presence on the water, this state's annual boating fatality rate has dropped measurably. Environmental police handle and/or assist with any Commonwealth waterway accident that is over $500 in damage, a fatality, or serious injury.
Lieutenant Aiken has one 52-foot, which is stationed most of the time in Boston, one 48-foot, and two 31-foot safe boats that are stationed from New Hampshire to Rhode Island. There is approximately 192 miles of mass waterways covered by this agency. Officers in this division include 2 lieutenants, 2 sergeants, and 3 officers. This agency will partner with other agencies for any water-related emergencies.
Take, for instance, the tall ships that visited Boston. Environmental police partnered with Boston, the Coast Guard, Quincy, and other local marine units participating in the preparation, security, and safety of those magnificent ships during their visit.
Training is first, and it includes state boating laws. National Association State Boating Law Administration, also known as NASBLA. The Marine Unit crewmen are trained in search and rescue. There are different types of equipment used, depending if it is a search and rescue or recovery operation. The equipment is known as BOSAR and ROVE, which are robotics that have special navigation integrated into it that can be operated in and along the water.
The officers are also training in pursuit and stop, and a tactical operators course which teaches the protection of assets. As Lieutenant Aiken describes the techniques to intercept any type of threat or trouble that its oncoming in a liquid environment is by far more difficult to interrupt or stop in a marine environment. These techniques provide the training needed to run police boats in high pursuits and tactics within inches of each other.
The LNG tankers coming into our harbors are a perfect example. Protecting them from any threat or illegal activity is vital and taken very seriously, as well as our bridges and any structures that are around or over our waterways.
You can call the environmental police on their non-emergency anytime at 1-800-632-8075. Anytime that there is an emergency, please call 911 no matter what first. They will partner with local law enforcement on any matter that needs or requires their attention for any investigation.
This is a state agency that receives mostly state funding to support it. Some of the funds provided do come from ATV registrations and boat registrations. This funding right now supports 67 officers total. In my opinion, this is not a lot of resources to cover such a widespread area.
Well, that wraps it up.
Good night, God bless, and hope wonderful happenings in your lives.
Until next time, where planets align but often collide, I'm Peter.
And I'm Ann. Good night.
Good night.